What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second installment of Shear Sports Cuts. I'm your host, Adam Shear. Today, we're just going to have a short little program. I really just want to touch on the Lakers-Suns game from last night and preview the Magic-Celtics game set for Saturday at 8:30. That game will be played in Boston. So let's begin by talking about this Lakers-Suns game. If you didn't watch and you haven't heard, the Lakers won the game by 12 points in a 124-112 victory. Now, this game was honestly over after the first quarter. Like I said, for those of you who didn't watch, Ron Artest hit a three at the buzzer to put the Lakers up 36-24 at the end of the first quarter. And from that point on, it really didn't look like Phoenix was ever going to come back, although they did tie it at one point during the game. Now, in my last podcast, I discussed Amari Stoudemire's lack of intensity. And I just want to make a point real quick before I go into this more that I don't hate Amari. I don't dislike Amari. I really think he is a good player in this league. It's just that he hasn't been hustling on the defensive end of the ball. And it's unfortunate that before the game he didn't hear any of my points and understand that he still is not hustling at all on the defensive end. This guy has become a huge enigma at this point. I mean, where is he? Sometimes it looks like he's floating around like a lost child. Many of us read that book when we were kids, Are You My Mother? And that's what it looks like Amari is. Are you the guy I'm supposed to be defending? Are you the guy I'm supposed to be defending? He's not playing good defense. He's not getting in position to get rebounds. And LA is shooting lights out right now. They shot over 54% in the game. And it just continued on as LA was pouring it on the Suns. I want to add this in, though, and I don't want to give Amari all the blame because none of the Phoenix players in this game were actually hitting the glass. Their leading rebounder only had 6 boards, so that's really poor rebounding for the team, and it's not like it was spread out well either. It's not like a lot of guys had 6 rebounds. It's just that none of them really had any rebounds, and Amari was actually the leading rebounder in this game with 6 boards, but still, for a guy, like I said, of his physical stature in my last podcast, that's not going to cut it, man. It's got to be more. You have to get double-digit rebounds when you're that size if you want your team to win. Now, the thing that Phoenix did do a little bit better this game is that they did get Jared Dudley the ball more to hit more threes. He came out and he hit 5 from 5 from the field, but Channing Frye went 0 for 5 from the field total. He missed both three-point attempts. So they still have to step up and hit some more threes if they want any chance. That's really their key to their game. You have to get Jason Richardson shooting. You have to have Steve Nash hitting threes to have any success. But another thing is that the Lakers played really, really great defense through this game. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of turnovers that the Suns had necessarily, but it just looked like through the course of this game that the Suns were playing defense just to slow the Lakers offense down, run some shot clock off, and make them take maybe a stupid shot at the end, whereas it looked like the Lakers were playing defense to stop the Suns from scoring entirely. They were really closing out well on their defenders. They were making good switches. One key one that I saw was in the first quarter when Derek Fisher actually was switched up on Grant Hill, and he got his hand in his face, and Grant Hill is a much bigger guy, and Hill actually missed the jump shot against a smaller Derek Fisher. So the Lakers as a collective unit were playing really good defense through this entire game. Another thing, though, is that the Lakers are just too deep of an offensive team, and I don't mean deep from a bench point, but they just have too much firepower with Kobe Bryant, Andrew Bynum, Paul Gasol, Ron Artest, and Lamar Odom. It's just too much to handle for these Suns, although they have their own offensive firepower. There's just too much going on, and all these Lakers guys are so good at working the ball around that it just doesn't bode well for Phoenix because they're not a great defensive team in the first place. Now, the one guy you really can't say enough about is Kobe Bryant because this guy is truly doing it all. And in the past, Kobe's big flaw was that he was known as a selfish player. I don't think selfish players have 13 assists and 2 turnovers in a Western Conference Finals game, and that's what Bryant did tonight. He really worked the ball around well. He's become so smart that he's almost at like that Peyton Manning level with the Colts. He makes great decisions. He knows when to get you, and he knows when he needs to just give up on the play and work the ball around more. He's just playing at such a high level. I can't see anyone competing with this guy anymore. He's just such a great basketball player. And on top of that, he's working with other great basketball players. Paul Gasol has turned himself into one of the best post players in the game, and he's tearing up Amari at the post. And when he's not tearing up Amari on the post, Andrew Bynum is. Now, I really could put some blame on Robin Lopez here, but Lopez really wasn't the problem. If you watch this game, when Gasol and Bynum were scoring, it was when Amari was playing defense on him. He just doesn't try hard enough, and that's really something that Alvin Gentry has to get in their face about. They just can't keep letting LA get in the post, get in the paint, and keep pouring on points. Another guy that is doing this for LA, though, and it's a guy that Amari Stoudemire considered a lucky player, is Lamar Odom. I love this guy's game. He just does everything so pure, and it's just insane when you watch this guy play, because every time I see him play, I just think that this dude could be a good or great type player on a lower playoff seed. I don't think he's necessarily the type of leader, but he's established himself as the best role player in the NBA, in my opinion. He just does everything so well. He rebounds really well. He passes the ball at an efficient rate. He shoots good from about, 20 feet out. He can hit threes sometimes. His defense is actually stopping some of these Phoenix players like Grant Hill and like Jason Richardson, and he cuts to the basket so easily sometimes. You just have no idea. It's like he's slithering through the lane. I love watching this guy play because he plays the game the right way, and he's become so relentless with everything he does. I just think at this point, with how well the Lakers are playing, there's no chance for Phoenix to come out and win a game in this series. They totally have command of the Suns right now, and that's just not going to change. I see the Lakers winning this in 4 games and closing it out, getting ready for the finals, where I think that they will end up facing the Boston Celtics. Now, that's the other game I kind of want to preview. I want to just get into what I think needs to be done by Orlando to even have a shot. Again, that game's on at Saturday at 8:30, and it will be played in Boston. So my first point here is that the Celtics have really made a point of not letting Dwight Howard get to the rack and dunk. Now, if Dwight Howard can do that, I think that will open things up for Orlando's perimeter shooters. However, if Garnett and Perkins are able to continue to give him problems, it's just going to break the back of Orlando. They won't be able to spread the ball. They won't be able to get Vince Carter and Rashard Lewis open looks, and that will just completely destroy any offensive opportunities that the Magic would have. Another key, though, for this game is that Paul Pierce really needs to remain consistent. He's finally gotten to that level after having a shaky first and second series where he seems back into form. He seems like the Paul Pierce who knows it's the playoffs, knows that he's got to be ready, and knows that he needs to contribute for his team to have a shot. He kind of gets that attitude where he's like, I'm the man, I know I can do this, and if he keeps that mentality, I think the Celtics can actually maybe sweep this series. Having this rest period of not playing between Tuesday and Saturday is a big deal. That's a lot of time off for an aging Celtics team to get prepared for the Magic again. You got to look at that from the vice versa standpoint, though, where Orlando's got more time to see what they have done wrong. So maybe this game will be a little more closer. Maybe Boston won't have the same defensive command, but if they do, it's over for the Magic. They're not going to be able to match up well with the Celtics because the Celtics are very sound defensively at every position, with the exception of maybe Ray Allen, who can kind of be blanketed, though, by the Celtics' strong defensive play at every other position. And if Rajon Rondo keeps tearing things up for the Celtics, it's just not looking good for the Magic, and I think this series can be won at home for them. It'll be interesting to see, though, if Dwight Howard can get open looks underneath and not have to be forced out to about that 6-7 foot area where he can kind of put up garbage hook shots, how much better the Magic can be. So look out for that. That's it for today. I kind of just wanted to dab in and give my thoughts on both of these games kind of earlier before so you guys can get an idea. I think the Celtics will win this game. Depending on how that goes, I'll talk about Game 4 a little bit more sometime soon. Thanks for listening again. Please feel free to comment on the YouTube page, on my Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter. I keep these up. It's Adam Shear AJ on Twitter. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thanks for listening, and have a good one.